Well, I'm at least out of bed and gonna try and get my resupply done. Okay, got food, got butane. Unfortunately, they didn't have the little lips thing for my coffee cup, but Jen did mail one of those to Breckenridge. Just have to survive this next high up section. And now the joy that is trying to triage everything and get the heck out of here on time. Okay, this is probably a little too much food if anything, but I don't know if I'm getting stuck by storms or what. It's 73 some miles and I know I'm gonna have at least 1 or 2 partials in there, probably due to weather. And hopefully this is the last time I ever see Winter Park. Just had a nice chat with the owner of the Viking, and now time to see if I can get picked up here. And here's this hopefully being the last time I'm trying to hitch out of Winter Park, ever. But this one tends to be a struggle because not as many people realize there's a Mexico to Canada train. Well, the not feeling well I could have done without, but at least the hitches went well. I don't think I had my thumb up for 2 minutes before a construction guy stopped and picked me up. I also had a really nice chat with the owner of the Viking on the way out. I am very grateful that that place exists and that they offer a $60 hiker rate, because hotels in this entire section, you know, Steamboat down, are just ridiculously expensive. I seem to be doing at least a little better. That headache was just blinding. Couldn't concentrate on a damn thing. And yesterday, I intended to go get the food and everything, just didn't feel well enough. I am not what I would call 100%, but I just can't stomach hanging around Winter Park anymore. Not after last year, when I came down not feeling well. Jen was joking that if it turned out it was COVID, I had her permission to burn down the town. I really didn't want to take that zero, but what you gonna do? So, at least I have a clear afternoon. Can hopefully get up and over this ridge line here. Camp on the far side. It looks like there's an electrical storm coming in Sunday. So, my current goal, if I can, is to get over Grays on Saturday. And then I'll have to see. If I'd stayed around town another day, I would have got Diamox just as a precaution. It's a altitude sickness treatment, but there just wasn't time. I am the sort who is constantly planning and looking at alternates, so worst case, I can make something work. I mean, hell, worst case, I've done the miles down as far as Salida at the 114, you know, past Monarch. If it really comes down to it and I'm blocked too long, I can jump down there and I've still got a continuous footpath. I was just hoping to do this section, and section after that was really pretty, and I already got boxes mailed and everything. It's just one day at a time. Hopefully I'm gonna be adjusting to altitude. In retrospect, I guess an extra week at my parents' might not have been amiss, but I was starting to get antsy. I was actually feeling bad enough I didn't even screw around with doing laundry at that place. I washed my underwear, socks, and some things in the bathtub, put a little soap, swished them around, called it good. Once the headache started that night, I was struggling to do anything. I was trying to write emails or just take notes even, and I couldn't think straight. Part of me thinks it may have been a mild case of high altitude cerebral edema, just because of the mental aspect. Or it could have also been just like a migraine or something. It was just weird, the loss of appetite and everything else. Neither of those are something that I would normally expect, but I did come from a good long while at sea level. I have been exerting up here, and while I did spend a week at my parents', that was down at 6K, and it's not like I've had a whole lot of full nights of sleep lately. I basically stayed at the same place I did last year. I resupplied at the same place, and I ate at a lot of the same places. And this is what I referred to as Camp Despair. This is where I tried to ride things out. Kept hoping I'd get better, but I'm up at 12,000 feet. So stayed up here in two separate things and then had to go into Winter Park way down there twice. So this is still retread, but only for another 10 miles or so. The Silverthorn Alt turns off. And for the record, I highly recommend the Silverthorn Alt. I really enjoyed that. And then at that point, that'll be this red line section that was one of the main reasons I started back down here, rather than where I exited at Salida. I did say I really wanted to be acclimated by the time I hit the San Juans, and should be either acclimated or dead at this rate. This has actually been nice down here in the trees. I just came over a range that was up to 12.5, and up ahead there is another 13er. My plan had been go up and over that, but due to various things I wasn't able to get out of town too early. I seem to be doing better, but my best guess is the headache and everything I was feeling was altitude related. And the last thing I want to do is end up stuck up at 13,000 feet or camping too high. So I might be stuck here, even though it's only 3 o'clock in the afternoon. So this is already 11.3, so it's not super low. And it's going to be another 13 miles on the red line to get back to that height. Not being able to start super early this morning kind of hurt me there, but I had to resupply. Kind of got going as quick as I could. So yeah, plan, I guess, is stop early. I need to set up for graze. That's the big thing. That's the 14er. Got to get over that before the storm. So if I just start early tomorrow, get a full, 20 some miles out tomorrow, at least 17, that should set me up for getting over grays and Torreys. And then at some point, this is going to start evening out. I won't have to worry so much about the high ups. Okay, decent campsite. I'm at 11,500, which is probably best I'm going to get today. I really don't feel like I have it in me to go up and over, even if that ridge line is a nice easy go. It's still going to be a 13,000 foot peak. It's about 3:30, 3:40. My plan is just to set up here and take it easy. That way I can use it as kind of a trial run if I end up having issues again. There is a bailout back here. If that was just a random headache or, a migraine or something, shouldn't be any sort of an issue. If it was cerebral edema, then I may have to bail out and figure out a plan B. But like I said, I can get a ride and I can just go down to Salida and forget about all this, but obviously not my first choice. Last time I was doing Silverthorn, so that's just another 5 miles, which that's no problem. And then you drop down massively. You're back to, 10,000 some feet in the trees with water. Unfortunately, this ridge goes on for a ways. But hey, I guess this is what I get for starting on the roughest section to Colorado. I went through and I have a plan for the next couple of days. Basically just doing one range at a time, camping as low as I can, the usual recommendation when you're dealing with altitude. And yeah, that should get me through to Breckenridge. Well, this isn't how I want to be hiking right now, but is what it is, and I guess this is my best chance at not having further issues. Home sweet home.